What if you could erase your imperfections? Not just cover them up, but wipe them from existence entirely. This is the story of Line, a simple stickman living on a vast white page, who believed his worth was drawn in the straightness of his lines. But Line's lines were never straight. They wobbled when he was nervous and smudged when he tried too hard. Every clumsy step, every failed jump left a mark, a messy, permanent reminder of his failure. He saw other stick figures with their clean edges and sharp corners and felt like a mistake, a rough draft that should have been thrown away. One day, after tripping and leaving a long, ugly skid mark, he found something new, an eraser. It wasn't like the others. It hummed with a faint glow. In a fit of shame, he pressed it to the skid mark. It vanished. But it wasn't just the mark that disappeared. The memory of the fall, the feeling of scraped knees, the very moment itself was gone. He felt clean, perfect. At first, it was a miracle. That awkward conversation he replayed in his head for days, erased. The lopsided flower he gave to his friend Dot, erased. The time he tried to sing and his voice cracked, erased, erased, erased. He sculpted himself into a masterpiece of perfection. His lines were finally straight. His page was finally clean. But a strange silence began to grow around him. His friends would smile, but their eyes were empty. The world felt smooth, sterile, and terribly quiet. He had erased all the bad, but the good seemed to have faded with it. The laughter that followed the clumsy fall, the shared blush of an awkward moment, the pride in giving a gift, however imperfect, it was all gone. He found Dot staring at a blank spot on her wall. He asked her what was wrong. She looked at him, a deep sadness in her simple circle eyes. "I don't know," she whispered. "I just feel like something is missing. Something that was wonderfully messy. Something that proved we were here." And in that moment, Line understood the devastating truth. He hadn't been erasing his mistakes. He had been erasing his story. Each smudge was a lesson. Each wobbly line was proof of effort. His imperfections were not his failures. They were the ink that made him real. They were the texture of his life, the very things that connected him to others. He looked at the powerful eraser in his hand. He had wanted so badly to be a perfect drawing, but he realized a perfect drawing is just an empty page. He put the eraser down. He walked over to Dot, took a deep breath, and began to draw her a new flower. It was more lopsided and wobbly than the first. He handed it to her, his hand shaking. She took it, and for the first time in ages, her smile reached her eyes. We then see Line living. We see him try to build a bridge, and we see it collapse into a messy pile of lines, and we see him and Dot laughing beside the beautiful wreckage. We see him dancing, a flurry of chaotic, joyful smudges. He was no longer afraid to make a mark, to be messy, to be real. He learned that our beauty isn't in the absence of flaws, but in the stories they tell. His life was no longer a clean, empty page, but a rich, textured canvas of a life fully lived. So it makes you wonder, if you had the power to erase your scars, would you also be erasing the person you became because of them?